At present, there's a great deal of divergence between the use of the standardized approach and the internal ratings-based approach. So how does Basel 3.1 change things? Under the Basel 3.1 proposals, there will be far more granularity in the risk weights that will apply to the standardized approach. As a result, firms can expect these risk weights to generally go down. The opposite is true for IRB, where proposals such as the introduction of conservative input floors will increase the risk weights that will be applicable to IRB. And what about the output floor? The Basel 3.1 output floor can be seen as the minimum capital requirement that is applicable to IRB firms. This means that such firms will need to hold at least 72.5% of the capital that they need to hold by the standardized approach, even if the IRB method suggests holding a lower amount of capital. Disclosure requirements are also changing, with firms that use the standardized approach needing to disclose their financial data in far more granularity than they have been so far. The same is true for IRB firms, who will now be required to disclose far more granular assessments of their standardized method of computation of RWAs. Taking into account the impact of the more conservative model parameters, the impact of the output floor, and indeed the far more enhanced disclosure requirements, IRB will be less beneficial going forward than it has been. What is the main outcome? Firms will need to undertake a thorough cost-benefit analysis to determine if the IRB approach is still right for them. This must include the impact of the output floor on their risk weight assessments. There are also a number of operational requirements that apply to IRB firms. For instance, the PRA proposes to ban the use of IRB method for certain low-risk exposures. In addition, model risk principles that have recently been published will also be applicable to IRB firms. Firms should also account for these operational considerations in their analysis.